This recipe will be for baked turkey wings. I've cleaned my turkey wings off. I have 2 large drumsticks here and 2 fairly good sized turkey wings in a long pan. I've rinsed them off, washed them down. I've looked for any like straggling feathers. There are none. I've taken some of the excess fat that tends to be right along the lining of the turkey leg, so I didn't need to show you all that. So the first thing I do is season it up with some seasoning salt, and I'm going to turn these wings around. So some of you are familiar with my technique. I'm familiar with my meat. I touch my meat, I turn it all around, make sure all the flavor is going to get through everything. That's seasoning salt. Next up is going to be black pepper. This is McCormick's black pepper, but you can use any black pepper. At the end, when it's on my plate, I put fresh cracked pepper for flavoring if I want more pepper. But for this part, make sure all the pieces get some of the seasoning. Even that foot down there. Make sure that the head of this wing, make sure you put some flavor on that. Make sure every piece. Then I have some poultry seasoning here. That's going to be next to go on. And in poultry seasoning, you will have some thyme, rosemary, sage. All of those things can be found in poultry seasoning. And so it's very pungent, but on a meat like turkey, which is also a really hearty piece of meat, you want flavor in your meat. And so that's poultry seasoning. And as you see, I'm just sprinkling it. There's no way that I can measure this, right? You see me sprinkling and putting things on every piece. This is garlic powder. I cook with a lot of garlic. Garlic has a lot of flavor in it. And I'm also going to put some fresh garlic in this as well. That's the flavor profile that I use in most of my food. Before I touch my garlic, I'm going to rinse my hands off. And this is already finely chopped garlic and water, right? So you see, I'm gonna rub this down some more, but I got 1 teaspoon, another teaspoon. That's about as much fresh garlic as I'm gonna put in there. And then I'm also I've cut up a half an onion, a half a green pepper, and some celery. And I'm gonna sprinkle that throughout. I'm not done seasoning this quite yet. I'm going to then use my sazon packets. These can be very salty, but again, it's the flavor I'm going for. I don't put fresh salt on my meat or either, because of all the different flavors and seasoning salt that I already put in there. That was 1 packet, and then I have a half a packet from something I seasoned earlier. And then I'm going to sprinkle this. You see? It gets on every single piece. And then I'm going to take some vegetable oil and sprinkle a few splashes in my pan around, because I'm going to rub this down all over my turkey wings, right? And so now that I put all that seasoning and the onions and green peppers, I'm going to start to massage this meat. My girl Treese told me something about violating the whole chicken that I made. Well, I'm getting ready to violate these turkey pieces as well. So you see, become familiar with your meat. This is how you flavor your meat. Rub it down, make sure it gets into every crevice of your meat. That's how you flavor it. You can pull some of the skin back if you want, and make sure you rub it in there on these turkey legs, because the turkey legs are very hearty and you want flavor throughout. And so I'm going to situate my wings and legs in the pan just so that they have space in there. Everybody has the space that they need. So you see how that is? I'm going to pick these pieces of onions and green peppers that some are underneath, and that will flavor your meat as well. But I want it sprinkled throughout so that there's green peppers and onion on top, and celery on the bottom underneath. So as it steams in the oven, it's going to steam in its own juices, but it's also going to steam in the flavors of that garlic, green peppers, onion, and all of those things, right? I'm going to put about a half a cup of water in here because it will make its own juice as well. And a couple of pieces of butter so that it has a juice of its own. I don't like a heavy gravy. I like a drier turkey wing with a little bit of butter sauce down from the pan and its drippings. And so this will sit for about an hour or two before I put it in the oven at 375. So these are my baked wings after they have been cooking at 375 for 2.5 hours. I will now uncover them. The legs are fairly thick, and you see the wings are coming apart in certain places. I can see through that, and I can see that it's not all the way done. I like, again, I think I told you I like a drier turkey wing, so I will leave the juice here, and I will cook this uncovered for another 20 to 30 minutes, and then my wings will be done.